What's up all? Today we're gonna take a look at the LX450. We having some issues with it. Is one, the we're getting a weird noise from the front front wheel bearing here, so we're not sure if it's the brakes or the wheel bearing, as well as the power steering works intermittently, and we tend to leak some oil, so we'll be taking a look at the power steering as well. Let's rest this cover here temporarily for this there's any oil dripping out. So we have some slop in the wheel bearing, but I don't think that's cause of the noise, but I'll try to adjust the wheel bearing some. I will just adjust the wheel bearing using this homemade socket. I made this 54 mm socket using some scrap sheet metal. I wasn't able to get one locally, so I decided to make one. I went to pack the bearings with new grease at the moment because I plan to overhaul all the wheel bearings on this. Ooh. This nut is in terrible shape. Look like someone severely damaged this for me to do. I won't be able to get on the socket because the nut is severely damaged. It was able to work. Out and not out. Let's take out the washer. So the person who set up this bearing, they did not bend the tab to lock the inner lock nut, so it could have unscrewed as well, because from all the Toyotas I work on, we bend one tab in, one tab out for the both nuts. This tab wasn't bent in for the inner nut, so I said I'll just adjust it as I'm here already. adjust up this wheel. To adjust up this wheel, I think the Toyota manual has you tighten the bearing to 53 foot-pounds, then you slacken the bearings and spin the wheel, tighten back up to I think is 3 foot-pounds. So what you can do is just tighten the wheel bearing as much as and back it off so that it spins freely. So what you'll do is tighten up the wheel bearing till you feel there's drag on it, right? And then you can just back off a bit. Just and tighten there. All you want to do is make sure the bearing is seated and then back off a bit. So once there is no slop in it and there is no drag, so as I tighten, you can see you feel more and more drag on it. So and just slacken, make sure there is no drag. You spin a few times, and that should be enough preload for the bearing. Alright, so now we will put in our lock washer. So as I said, the person who previously installed this, they did not lock the inner nut. So I think I put on this nut the wrong side. Let me just check it. Yeah, a lot of hammer marks on the outside of this nut from previous people working on it. So you put back the hammer marks on the outside. You know, when I come to redo all this, I'll file these nuts down so that the socket can go on easy, because right now the socket is a bit tough to go on. Right? So as I put on this nut, I'll just pull the tab down to lock the inner wheel bearing nut. With our inner wheel bearing nut, the outer bearing nut can be tightened tight. This is the one that will lock the wheel, but I'll need to put on the socket because the nut is damaged by previous people who work on it. Right, so the eddy man outside 53 foot-pounds. That should be good. And we look for a flat side and bend the tab for the washer down. Yeah, so bending the tab, ensure you get this washer lock in the nut. That's what next time I plan to take down all four wheels and have the change out all the wheel bearing grease, lubricate all, make sure there's no seals, but I need to buy seal kits for all of them. So right now I just trying to identify what is the cause of our noise I'm hearing, and I just wanted to, the bearing had some slop in it, so I just adjusted one time. This is not like a complete overhaul or something I'm doing. Yes, I know it's not ideal to take out the sand, don't change the grease and put it back up and whatever, but it's not that difficult to take out, and you know, I plan to address all in one when I come to that. As you can see here, as the nut is file long, you can see the hammer marks of people previously ponging the nut in and out, trying to take it out because they don't have the socket. It's very difficult to find the socket here locally, so that is why I made this one. It works reasonable. That's how I did it. Was I put a nut on the sheet and bend it, bend until I make it 4 bends and weld it off. So basically that's how I made the socket, and it's fairly strong. And I just welded a 19 or 3/4 nut on the head, so I just put my ratchet on it and use it. So taking a look at the brakes, we have one C's piston there. This other two came out. This piston C's, this piston looked like it came out. Watching the brake lines is in a terrible state, so I'll have to pick up some brake lines. So I may change all the rubber lines in this van. In the meantime, I'll take out this caliper and take a look at it, as well as once I complete the side, I will probably move on to the others. Yeah, I got the pistons out. Some of them, the chrome is actually worn out, corroded away. But I don't know if I'll get any of these pistons locally. I will check, but best I'll do is clean it up and put it back up and look for some probably online. There's the piston that was severely seized. As you see, got some damages here. I use the channel lock slip jaw pliers here and keep turning it till it broke free. And once it broke free, I put back in the other studs and use the compressor and was able to get it out. It's a bit messy, so now time I'll try to take out these rubbers, because all these rubbers may need to reuse, because again the LX450, the LX450 and the FZJ 80 are not really, they don't really sell much in Trinidad. They are a good couple, but you know, so not much parts place may stock the parts for them. I will have to look around, call a few places, but some of the places that may have them will be very expensive compared if I look online and probably try to import them myself. So that may be an option. So time for me to clean up these. I'll take my time taking out the seals from inside the piston here. I'll take my time trying to take out the seals in case I need to reuse them. The seals here, I now made this sort of pick on the bench grinder. It is an electrode, welding electrode, flatten one side on a piece of metal with the hammer and just give it a light grind, and this other side I just grind down and give it a bend. So let's see if this will work. It actually worked well on the first rubber. It actually worked really well using the point. I'm not sure if you'll see that. So I took out the first rubber. Let's see if I can take out the rest. So here's the brakes caliper. All I did was clean it up. I used back everything used. I will go and try to get new parts to change it out, but in the meantime I'll just clean out the both driver and passenger side, and we'll see if we get the noise that we are hearing go away, as well as if we get better brakes. But I'm definitely going to change the brakes lines before I put this van back on the road. Back again today, working on the FZJ80. So today I'm taking a look at the right side brakes. So what I was doing is this side, when I took out the brake shoes, the pistons were sticking a bit. Instead of taking out the entire caliper, what I did was put the air on it from here and check to see which ones were moving. So only this one was moving. This one was moving a bit but still sticking, and these two weren't moving at all with the air. So what I did was take my pry bar here, took my pry bar, put them on the piston, shake them a bit, tap the caliper and with the hammer, and they started moving. So I just did that, pry them back and put air on them, and all four came out. So I don't think on this side I'll be removing the caliper. Back the four pistons, and I'll try to see if the air moves all four pistons. If all four pistons move, I will not take out the caliper. I call a few parts plates here in Trinidad, and none of them carry the rubber kits for the caliper, so I don't want to open it like how I did with the other side, because I'm not sure if I do damage the seals, because these won't leak into the exterior to the outside. So I don't want to damage the rubbers, and then next thing I don't get them back. So I'll just try this way. If it works, I will just clean up the calipers and of all the mud and everything, clean out the rotors, and assemble with new disc pads. So here you saw all 4 pistons moved, so I'll consider that successful, and I will go ahead and change the pads. I also took out all the rubber lines to change. The rubber lines were a bit cracked, and I decided to change out all because I don't want to take any chances with the brakes. We also use larger tires on this vehicle. This vehicle right now uses 37s by 13.5 R18, and these tires are heavier, larger diameter, so we want to make sure that the vehicle can stop. So yeah, I know I didn't service the caliper itself, but I believe it will work for a while till I can probably import some seals for all the calipers and do them over. Yeah, back to the rubber lines. I didn't get the exact rubber lines. I got some longer, some without the correct clip to fit in, but I'll try to see how best I can make them work, because right now in Trinidad is very bad with flooding, and this is my only running for, well, this is the 4x4 which I have most completed that is roadworthy, and I really want to get back up and running, because a lot of the times we get stranded in flooded areas. The entire country is flooding, so I want to have this vehicle up and running. So hopefully by the end of the day I'll be sorted out with the brakes. The power steering was giving me some issues. I would like to take a look at that, and we'll see where it goes from there. Here we installing new brakes lines, installing new brake pads. Right, the new lines, I didn't get the exact lines in the part plate, so I got some like these where the ends were like this. So I had to grind here and bend the lock here to actually fit in the clip to be able to have enough clamp force to hold the hose in. So need to grind it to go back into the slot, because the original Toyota hoses had a flat side on both ends, right, and the lock is closer to get the groove is closer to the end here, so the lock goes in proper with the Toyota hose. However, with this other hose, not sure which vehicle this is for, I need to grind it and bend the locks to fit. This other hose, I didn't get the correct one as well, and the lock up here, it worked good, but the cutout is not the exact to match the Toyota, but it will work, and I will always update you all on how it goes. So once again, the new brakes disc pads in front anyway. Here I got 2 washers. I got these washers from an alternator, used washers, compression washers. In the parts place didn't have any, and here the lock didn't want to go in proper, so I'll have to probably look for a different lock, one with a little more spacing, or file this one a bit. But I'll just leave this lock for the while and continue working, and afterwards all these sort of fine details I'll sort out. I now completed bleeding the brakes, so now it's to move on to working on the power steering. I'm not sure if I will have enough light to work on the power steering tonight, but I'll try to see as much as I can get done. I bleed the brakes. I use this hose here to bleed the brakes. What I did is put the hose on the brakes bleeder here, crack it, and from inside just pump the pedal until I gave it like about probably 20 pumps. Came, check it, make sure you don't see no air, give it like extra 5, and lock off all the bleeders. Went around like that, did all the wheels, and that being completed is to move on to the power steering now. New day, so today we'll be tackling the power steering. Hopefully we get through that today. Starting off with removing this battery box. This battery box is not in great condition, so I'll have to fabricate a bracket to hold the new battery when I do reinstall. Here I found why the power steering oil was always, the power steering fluid was always leaking. Right here where my finger is, the hose is cracked. That is the return from the box, so I have to try and remove this hose. Well, the plan was to always remove the hose and change out all the hoses, so at least I found what was the reason for the leakage. But yeah, I got the power steering pump out. I took it out and I was still in it. I was getting fluid moving in it, so I don't think the pump is an issue. As I said, this power steering works intermittently, and I think there's some sort of sediment in it blocking the jet, but I don't want to open the pump because I don't have a repair kit. I thought they would have on the pump like a separate bolt to take out to check the relief valve, but not sure. So I don't have a chance opening the pump and damaging a seal, and I don't have anything to put back on. I got the pressure relief out. This is what regulates the pressure in the pump. So I think this could be the problem with the pump. Why we are not getting any pressure or sometime-ish. So I'll try to clean it up, because as you can see it was stuck inside it and it's a bit tight to move. So I'll do some cleaning on it and see if it does free up some before I put back up this pump, because I really don't want to put up this pump and have to take it back out again. There's a lot of work to put in this pump and take it out. Very tight spacing. So from here you can see, I'm not sure if you all can see that, but there's a lot of metal cuttings inside the relief. So I'm not sure if there was getting some sort of blockage in the pump, and that's why it was working intermittently, but I'll try to clean it. Then there's a few little specks of metal filings inside there. Can't seem to get out. I don't really have any lint free cloth to use like in this application, so I just use like a napkin, but it's not ideal. So cut metal filings came out, so this little strainer in front here had a lot of metal cuttings inside, so I scrapped out this valve and sort of cleaned it out, tried to get out as much filings as possible. So I'm going to reassemble and then afterwards put it up on the vehicle and hope we get back to power steering working. So when I took out this valve was not moving, it was sticking. So let's see if it's sliding in the housing. Let's put in some oil to lubricate it. If it's not sliding, I'll have to probably just try and give it a light polish, because it was sticking severely. The valve free up. What I did was I put the air compressor nozzle as far as it can go and just keep blowing out to blow out any specks of grit and dust and any cuttings inside. And once I did that, I put back in the valve and lubricated it. And once lubricated up, I worked it easily until I felt it started to move smoothly. So I'm pretty satisfied with how the valve is working. Hope there's no issues when reassemble. So now time to reassemble and put it back onto the vehicle. Hopefully our power steering works now. As well as with the power steering, I'll be changing out all the hoses, because as I showed you all earlier, one of the hoses was scrapped on the van, and that is why power steering was leaking, and probably why the pump ran dry previously, because there was a slight leak power steering. So when the vehicle was parked for a while, it will leak out all power steering fluid. And the hose on the pump, the nut. However, when I marked the pump to take out, I ended up marking the bolt, which was an error. Should have marked the hose. So I'm not sure if it went back in the correct position, but I assume this was close to the position. If not, I'll just have to make the adjustments on the vehicle. Here I went to change this hose. I blow out all the lines on the vehicle. So here I changed this hose, but I don't cut it the length as it, only when I replace the reservoir and so forth. Here, when I replace the reservoir here, I will cut this hose the length. So I blow out all the metal lines and everything, make sure if there was any cuttings in it, it came out. Here on the pump, I taped off all the hoses before I install them, so that no dirt can get into the lines again. Change this hose as well. When I put it on the vehicle and put it back on the reservoir, I'll cut it a length. I don't want to cut it on it, end up too short. So about to install the power steering pump back on the vehicle, and let's see if we were successful in this repair. Running, and yeah, power steering working.